Hello, 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 you beautiful stars. Hello, hello. This is Sunday, October 30th, 2022. Happy Halloween, everybody. There's probably hopefully, a lot of trick-or-treaters out there right now. So I'm not expecting people to really show up in the chat, which is cool. That's good. I'm still doing my job. Um, yeah, happy Halloween. I love it. It's very Halloweeny here in northern Georgia right now. It is like just that cloudy, wet, leaves are everywhere. So it's kind of bringing me back to my childhood. It's lovely. I love it. Um, before I begin with the weekly message and energy update for today, I want to put out there that I'm kind of reshaping this channel a little bit, and hopefully I will get some editing equipment here soon. That's not my biggest concern. Um, I have come to know over the past few months that I need to start breaking things down a bit more so, but I need help with that. So I am going to be doing shorts, like short Q&As. My husband literally just this morning reminded me that I originally did start doing vocabulary. So I'm probably going to go back to doing that. So thank you, husband, for reminding me. And also, I just got off the phone with my dear friend Geza, who is going to start helping me. He's going to interview me for my own channel. I know it sounds odd, but it's not because all of you are not beautiful, intelligent beings. It's that I'm realizing that when I go to explain stuff, I'm not doing the best that I can to serve others. So, and he and I just did a quick little exercise as to how I would explain the timeline cleanse. And he probably by the third or fourth time, he interrupted me to ask a question as to what's that? What's that? I realized how much I'm not delivering the full picture. So he's going to help me with that. It's going to, I don't know, maybe I'll come up with a name like Esoteric Training Wheels or something for the videos I do with him. And I'm leaving it up to him to come up with questions. Please, 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 if you are hearing this and you have any kind of esoteric, any kind of spiritual, any kind of message or question, lay it on me. Put it in the comments because I'm going to be checking comments. I also check when people are in the chats. Like if I'm doing my Emerald tablets on Friday, I'm going to be pulling from the questions they put in there that I might miss while I'm giving a live discussion. So yeah. Oh, hey, Miss Shelley. Hey there, sweetie. You don't have to be here. If you're having a busy day, Mama, you can go out and do what you need to do. But I do think that that is needed. And guys, it's not because, like I said, not every, people are beautiful and intelligent, but everyone's at a different knowledge in this stuff. They're at a different rung. Let's say, if this is moving on up, they're just in different places. And so for me, though, it's difficult to go back to what the basics really are. I was that child that, and I was explaining this to my friend Geza. I remember I was 5 years old when, hey, Miss Lori, I was 5 years old when my mother was explaining to me the difference between medium and psychic and all of it. I was 5. So to me, so much is second nature. So much is, it's just there. It's just ingrained in me that I probably missed some points here and there. So Geza is going to start helping me and all of you beautiful stars out there. Send me your questions. You can send them to starsofthemorninglight.com or starsofthemorninglight@gmail.com because I want to be able to serve all in this journey. And I know a lot of people that do already follow me. They, they're catching on and they get things and they're moving right along. Somebody just last night said that Courtney is an acquired taste, and I do believe so. Um, but now looking at the message that I got from the records, I'm understanding why I feel this way too. Why I am going to kind of revamp a few things as videos and shorts and stuff like that around Stars of Morning Light here, because it's just needed. It's just needed. And it'll be a slow progress, but we'll get there. And do know I am, guys, it's going to be somewhere around Thanksgiving, either somewhere before or post. I am going to be starting that Edgar Cayce study, but I'm going to be looking at doing it from a total different angle than most people. I'm going to be talking about who he was, his life, things that he saw, his prophecies, his remedies, all of that through the overlining theme of life skills. Because at that time there were a lot of people that and it was not just Edgar Cayce. When you do start raising your frequency, your conscious level, there's a lot of things that you should put into place. Because, and unfortunately, Edgar wasn't able to do some of them. And I've been able to learn from him, his things he did great and things that he really should put in place. Because, he died at a pretty young age. And it's because of what he was capable of doing without safeguards in place, amongst other wonderful beings, that similar stuff happened to him. So I'm going to be approaching all of about Cayce and the Akashic more so through the eyes of, hey, let's talk about taking this stuff and applying it to life skills as we all continue to ascend, right? Get our frequencies higher with our consciousness. Oh, so good morning. Oh, yes. Thank you, Shelley. Good morning, Miss Lori. Actually, it's not morning anymore. Why am I saying morning? Good day. It's been a long morning for me. So Mars goes into retrograde today. Hey, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. I don't know why everybody in the world seems to not be okay with retrogrades. I really don't. Retrogrades are very much needed. It's our rewind, our pause, also our did I catch that? Should I go back and look at that? It's did I miss a bunch of opportunities that that are going to come back my way after this phase passes? It's a whole lot of opportunities with retrogrades. I've never had an issue with them. And Mars is not going to really affect it depends on where it's at in your chart. For me, of course, if I'm looking at my sun sign, which is Leo, I have Mars going into retrograde with Gemini in the house of Gemini and stuff. So this is why I'm really focusing on, okay, Courtney, go back to what you originally started doing, the vocabulary to teach people the differences of what stuff really is, like the astral compared to the ethereal, right? Go back, Courtney. Go back to the beginning. That's what Mars does. It's going to do that for me, and because it's in mixed in with Gemini with me, Gemini's communication. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's happening. So it is good to know, because I'm not going to be able to speak on everybody. Your charts are different. It is good to know kind of where is it happening in your birth chart, this Mars retrograde. But remember, Mars, everybody focuses on Mars because of war. I don't know why people do that. There's so much other stuff going on there. I have no problem with Mars. Like, he's cool. That's fine. Like, it's fine. Um, I think because very masculine. So it is going to be maybe more focused onto our masculine attributes and masculine stuff in our lives, our work, our physical habits, um, even our finances for people. It's going to kind of bring us back to be able to really look at things well enough. And remember, Mars, the reason everybody associates him with a lot of war is because I believe he's ruled, if I remember correctly, by Aries, which is, I mean, Aries is a straight shooter. It's not the arrow of Sagittarius, but when Aries sets their eyes on something or they got a goal, I mean, they're going to get to it, right? My love for Aries is that their goals are changing constantly. I love that. But anyways, so for all of us, it's going to affect some kind of aspect like that, some kind of more where our working more of our masculine stuff going on in our heads, going on around us. So that's our physical. So it could be financial. That's a part of more masculine. It could be our work. It could be um, our healthcare routines. It could be the habits. It could even be a good thing. Like, oh man, you had started a great habit in the summertime. You're out there going and you're doing great, and you started this new kind of healthcare, and then all of a sudden that cold weather started coming in, and you started falling off a little bit. This Mars is going to be there to remind you, hey, you know how good you were doing just a few months ago? You can do it again. You can start doing it again. Okay. So it's going to feel like that. But I do want to get a little bit more into not just the energy and I will be releasing the November Akashic collective message here in a couple of days. It is still up for just my Patreons. November is going to be a bit tricky and remember, guys, it's all this stuff affects everybody. It affects everybody. And usually in today's world, it's egos talking to egos. That's all that's going on. Egos talking to other egos. So when planetary stuff happens, it does affect everybody. So let's talk about for a moment, because it's going to come into play, the lunar eclipse happening in just a week or so. Full moon lunar eclipse. And I was listening to Rex Bear just last night, and he helped me to know that the midterm elections are also that day here in the States. I don't even know what happens with that stuff. That's just not my thing. But it's happening that day. So I know I put a small video out there about please don't do like rituals or ceremonies during the time frame of the eclipse. You can do it before, after, whatever you need to do, but just don't do it during that small little 10-minute window, whatever it may be. During it, it's actually how we just talked about Mars. It would do the same effect. It would kind of reverse what you're doing. It will not happen the way you think it would, the outcome. But the energy of that eclipse is going to carry all the way through into like first, second week of January. It's going to be pretty powerful. Just very pretty powerful. And it is up to us how we're going to use that. how we're going to perceive things, how we're going to either be in love or we're going to be in fear. And I'm learning even more so recently that it truly does come down to that. Very much so. It truly comes down to that. All of it ever has pretty much come down to that. Are we in love or are we in fear? I'm going to read, normally the records when I have to come and do a weekly message, it is normally they give me something to look up because that's how I like to roll, right? Well, I didn't even get to talking to them until this morning and, go there. And they just started having me write down a message. So this is even more so, I guess, to the collective message that I'll release here in a couple of days for everybody. I haven't looked at this again because I got on the phone with a friend like immediately as I got out. So we're all going to read this together at the same time. I don't know what is on here. Guys, I really don't, because the thing is when I'm there, I'm present there. When I leave, I don't remember I remember some of the imagery, but I'm not ever, like if I do someone's reading, I'm not going to remember. If I take a message down like this, I'm not going to remember. I don't remember that stuff. You literally can't, because it's different. See, this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. To me, it's just general knowledge as to why can't you remember, Courtney? So let's just keep going. I will say when I walked in, there was darkness, which is not usual. Darkness as in like a cloud over things, like a very stormy, crappy cloud. Very dark. And people's lights were just not as present as they should be. And so that's what I first saw. And then they immediately started going into this message. So that's okay, though. That's okay. So I basically, that's why I started writing, because I said, what is that? And they said weirdness, which I know it's like, what? They were talking to me. But I wrote it down anyways. They said weirdness. Confusion of message. Light and darkness is being confused with shiny and pretty. Let's just read it all. Flames are not, whoa. Wow. Flame or no flame, the light must proceed. Mars into retrograde for people's truths and desires to become clear. And they wanted me to underline desires to talk about it. Lights are going out. Full moon balanced. Wow. Full moon balance intentions with motives of collective sketchiness. Transmute harm into gained awareness of self. Treat all matters at hand like diamonds. All it needs is focused, pressured light. Come forth from creation as the key of fulfillment. And then I'm like, okay. And they said the grand message is count your blessings while creating new ones. So that's why I titled this Creating New Blessings. So I guess let's break this down. Confusion of message. That's period, guys. That's why I think I'm feeling such a pull to very much start breaking things down again in very simple terms, because there's a whole lot out there, and not just in the spiritual world. There's so much out there that nobody understands which way is up. Confusion in the messages, period. Period. It's happening. And that's a whole lot of what that darkness was too. Light in darkness is being confused with shiny and pretty. I just now have learned a new term, which I think is funny. It's called plastic shamanism, plastic shaman, shiny and pretty. Those who, and this has been an issue for ongoing for a while, especially with different gurus, um, people that really, their hearts aren't really in it. They might actually not know what they're talking about. A whole lot of stuff. But it also, consumerism, shiny and pretty, look over here, distractions. Light, let me put some more words to this. Light in the darkness is being confused with shiny and pretty. Meaning a lot of the stuff out there that people are listening to and they think is really good light, it's just being confused with shiny and pretty. Flame or no flame, the light must proceed. That does mean two things. Not everybody's got a flame, guys. I mean, I know I've said this before, but I think it's hard for people to believe that or even want to believe that, because then people question if they do, you know. Everybody's got a soul. Soul is consciousness. Everybody's got that. And you can actually, if you put the work in, if you're born without a flame because of biology and soul wise, you can inherit, you can receive a flame, a God spark, from source, but you got to put a lot of work in. That's just how it goes. So not everybody has a flame. So that's the first part of this, meaning people that have a flame or not have a flame. Like, no matter what, the march still has to keep going on. But it also means the flames that are going out. So remember, many of you here, at least in the chat, like when we talk about the emerald tablets, and Toth went down to the halls of Memento, and they had to bring him to the Lord of Death, really. I'm paraphrasing here, and he's surrounded in like darkness that is beyond any kind of our concept of dark. But there were all these little shining stars, all these shining lights, and he said, some are burning real bright, some are flickering, some are kind of moving in and out of light, some are dimming away as he's watching it. That is happening. But no matter what, the light, the grand light, the light that is actually present everywhere, even in the darkness, must proceed, must keep moving forward. This is going to be very hard for people, because that's going to represent in a lot of ways of like loved ones that you thought were on the same page as you. Loved ones that you always saw the potential of their light. Whew. Now it's gone. It's going to be very hard to, as you know your light, know your flame, know that you have to proceed. You have to keep going. It's going to be hard for people. So that this is kind of like them giving a little bit of a warning in a way. those that you think you're part of some kind. I was going to say soul tribe. I'm not directly talking about that. That's a term that is just used now. Um, your tribe, your people. There's going to be a lot of people that kind of fall away. There's going to be a lot of people that fall away from a lot of things. And it's going to be because of fear. Those lovely teachers, master teachers in Ecuador, they're saying again, and let me try to jog my memory. When people are in fear, how's it go? Oh, shoot, I'm not going to remember. When people are in fear, yeah, I'm not going to remember. I'm sorry, guys. I don't remember right now. It's been a very interesting week for me. Hi, Max. Moving in and out of things because I'm physically moving in and out. Let's just keep going. Mars into retrograde for people's truths and desires to become clear. Now, please remember, I speak a lot about the word desire. I'm not a fan of that word. I think desire is a slippery slope. I think desire gets all mixed up with emotions. It's not very clear. It's all about passion. Desire is a very slippery slope. That's why they wanted me to underline it. Mars into retrograde is for people's truths and desires to become clear, meaning your truths, where are you really at? What is your light doing? Is your light proceeding or not? How are you handling things? It's going to bring us back to kind of where we thought we might have been handling things right, like I said, or now we are going to be questioning, okay, my more of the masculine aspects, the finances, our jobs, our physical, right? Truths, like where are you really at? Where are you really at with things? And desires to become clear. Are our desires that are really actually usually desire is attached to the programming that we have within. I desire this, I desire that, I desire that, which is really just more selfishness, is really just more usually desire is linked to our personal wants, not looking at the collective good of all or even just the ones around us. And I'm not so much talking to everybody here specifically in the chat right now, but for anyone else listening, I'm not a fan of the term desire. It's a very bad slippery slope. It's you could put, I would rather you put hope there. I would rather you put even the word want. Want is fine because want is usually next to our cares and needs. Much more closer to it than desire. I mean, guys, when we really get truthful with ourselves, our truths and our desires, if we really get true with ourselves, we all want a really comfortable home, a decent amount of money in the bank so we don't got to worry about nothing. We all want stuff, but then when desire gets into the mix, oh, for some reason it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, right? And there's nothing wrong with having beautiful, huge goals. Are those goals attached to serving others? Are those goals attached to the betterment of the all? That's what's going to become more clear. We all have a role to play here. Everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's soul, as it says in the Emerald Tablets, everyone's soul does have a job. Some, you probably won't get compensated for it. That's fine. But your soul still has a job. And it's going to start to become even more clear. And then again, it said lights are going out. It's going to be more as to what's going to bring you your truths and your true desires. I mean, it might start getting a bit complicated. Who really is in my team? Who's really with me? And who do I maybe have to let go? Because your light is now completely gone, and my light has to proceed. The full moon balanced intention with motives of collective sketchiness or sketchy. So what they're saying here is that when the full moon comes at the beginning of November with the lunar eclipse, we have to balance our intention with motives of collective sketchiness. So motives of collective sketchiness goes back to the whole light and darkness is being confused with shiny and pretty. The motives of the collective, it's starting to get, this messages are getting sketchy. The motives, therefore, are becoming sketchy. Your motives are going to be kind of in question as well. That's why there's going to be truth. Because desires are really, they mess up our motives. The full moon is to gain the balance and kind of restore your true intention, because the motives of the collective are getting way messed up. Just like how their messages are. Transmute harm into gained awareness of self. I think everybody can understand that. It is so time to become a healer, to heal yourself. Transmute harm into gained awareness of self. You guys, oh, well. In my next Patreon class, we are going to be going on November 6th. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm going to rock your guys' world, I just realized. Okay, well, let's be there on November 6th. We're going to be going over the victim triangle, and then we're going to flip it and come up with some sacred geometry as to how, if we flip all that victim triangle stuff and we're able to heal, then what can happen? So I just now realized the date that I'm doing that on. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to rock your guys' world. You guys should join up. $5 or $8. Be with us. Moving forward, treat all matters at hand like diamonds. Treat all of your matters at hand right now. This is what they're saying. Treat all your matters. Household, work, all of your matters, emotional. Treat all of your matters at hand like diamonds. And we all know diamonds require lots and lots of pressure to be created. All it needs is focused, pressured light. It is time to, as they had just said, transmute harm into gain awareness of self. It is very much time to start healing. Treat all the matters right now, at least, at hand with focusing and putting pressure of your light on it. Treat all matters at hand like diamonds. Because the light has to proceed. The light has to proceed. Come forth from creation as the key of fulfillment. The more you guys practice that, hopefully, especially in this month, or this week. I mean, shit, this is supposed to be only a weekly message. They're giving a lot. No, I think they're moving towards into November. Come forth from creation as the key of fulfillment. If you guys actually do what they're saying here, right now, all that matters at hand, you focus and you pressure your light against it, because light has to proceed. You transmute the harm that's happened within you, around you, all over the place. You transmute that into gained awareness of self. That's it. Gained awareness of self, so you can learn that you are actually a being of creation, that you can learn more of your mastery present self. It is only love or fear. If you use all this stuff that they're talking about and continue to proceed in light, you will be able to come forth from creation, knowing that you are creation. You have all the power as the key of fulfillment. And then they said the grand message here, Courtney, is count your blessings while creating new ones. So with all of this weird stuff that they're saying here, all of this potential of difficulty, potential of having to walk away from loved ones because light must proceed, the potentiality of all the matters at hand, you really have to focus your light on them to create a diamond out of it. All of that, while you are doing it, while we're walking through this together, because we walk the awakening together, count your blessings, because when you're counting your blessings, you will be creating new ones for yourself. So this was one of the most oddest messages I've ever gotten, because normally this is not the format that I go into at all. Normally it's, this is not the format I normally do. The collective message that I recorded for the patrons will be released in a couple of days here, and I will be doing everybody's zodiac signs as well. That'll be released further into the first week of November. Guys, if anything, just remember, light must proceed. It must. It's a must. Whenever you read or hear the word must, it's a must. I mean, that's huge. Do you know I'm a big reader, as we all know. My husband and I were just talking about that this morning, that people do not read the way they used to. And I want to put out there that even if you read slow, that's fine. Please read something. Begin to read something if it's been a while, because we actually take in the information differently when we read it, because it's a more focused action. It's more like a meditation, so it actually gets imprinted into our DNA and consciousness much better than listening to someone or listening to something. It just does, because of all of the elements that are at play, sight, the meditative state that it kind of starts bringing you into, all of it. So please start reading, and I will tell you, I read books like that. I'll read an entire book, and then I'll go back and I'll underline things just for one particular topic in that book. And then usually at somewhere I'll read it again, and I'll underline every time it said the word must. Must. Because it matters. So I'm just saying, when anyone in a book or being says the word must, there's no argument there. You can't really argue the word must. I mean, unless it's, you're reading something and it's like, yeah, this person's a kook. But this is from the Akashic, and they're saying light must proceed. So please do not get too caught up. If Mars is like, hey, you got to look back at this stuff, this is your truth. And these are your possibly true desires. Let's bring those desires into what do you really want? Not so much the yacht and the this and the that, and, really bring it down to what you really want for you and your loved ones. What's the best for all? The best for all, because that's a part of manifesting. What's the best for all? And lights will be going out, and you guys will be seeing it. There is actually a potential, just so you guys know, for that line to be legit, for lights to be going out. There is a potential for that, for literally where's electricity go for a moment. Just so you know, I'm not prophesizing anything right now. There is a potential for that. So we can do this though, because you all can shine. Shit, I'm not afraid of the dark because I can shine like a motherfucker. Oh, I just cussed on YouTube. Anyways, I must be in one of those moods. So happy Halloween, everybody. Yeah, this one did not go the way I thought it would be. And yes, I'm going to start having to break things down even more so, which will begin happening in the next few weeks. And do look ahead to just a little short Q's and A's that I will do back to vocabulary. Because, yeah, my husband says it all the time. Yeah, people are kind of talking about the same thing, but using different words. So they keep arguing with each other, especially in the esoteric world. Especially. So remember, this message here started with confusion of message, meaning across the board. That people are becoming very confused. And when people become confused, that's when their lights start dimming. So I love you guys so much. Have a happy Halloween. Yay, yay. If you have questions, send them to me. I'll answer anything. Literally anything. I could care less. I'll answer anything. And think about doing the Patreon. I don't have the link in the description because I just didn't feel like putting any links in anything or really doing any of that stuff with this. It's all about the message. So I love you all. Have a great weekend. I will see you definitely on Friday for Emerald Tablets Revealed. And if you need to catch up, go back and listen because we're already going to be starting Tablet 10. Whoo! All right. Peace out. Love you.